Hi everyone, so I'm here today with Diane, who is a life coach, and today we're going to talk about mindfulness and what that means on our WW journey.
Excellent. Well, I'm happy to be here, Bev. Good seeing you.
Good to see you
And
too.
anything to help, anything to help. So, in regards to mindfulness, what specifically is it that you want me to touch on today?
Well, I'm kind of leaning towards, in order to progress on this journey, there's the renewing of the mind that happens. And how do we do that? How do we renew our mind so that we're able to not let that hold us back on this journey?
Okay, excellent. All right, so first of all, let me start by saying we're all on a journey, regardless if it's a spiritual journey, an emotional journey, a fat loss journey, whatever change in life we're going through, we're all on a journey. And our ultimate goal is the same. We all want to achieve results. And in the form of achieving the results, we want to improve the quality of our lives. So when it comes specifically to physical wellness or our fat loss journey or improving our health, our physical well-being, so we can feel better and look better, whatever that outcome is, one of the things I found in my own personal journey, and I get it, I get the fact that in life sometimes, because I've been on that journey, I've been on that road, I've struggled, I've crawled sometimes, I've tried every diet in the book, and sometimes I think what I've learned along the way is that our mindset interrupts the flow of where we want to get to. And by that, I mean, what happens is we have the components of when it comes to our eating habits, when it comes to our exercise, we're going along well, we're following the rules, we're following the guidelines, and we're making progress to some degree, but it's not the sustaining long-term progress that we want, that we seem to be getting. And what I've found in my own personal journey and dealing with clients is it comes down to our mindset. It comes down to how we think. And a lot of times it's about, so when we let me back up a little, when we get the components right, when we have our mindset right, not just focusing on doing all the right things, all the external pieces, doing the diet, doing the exercises, but yet when it comes to how we think about ourselves, how we see ourselves when we look in the mirror, how we talk about ourselves, it's opposite to what we're doing outside.
Okay. So I know for me personally, that is something that I struggle with. When I'm on this journey, I think outwardly. I want everybody to see the results of what I'm doing. But inside, I'm like, how do I connect how I feel on the outside to how I may be even thinking on the inside? So how do I go about that on this journey?
Okay, so that's where the disconnect comes in. We're connected on the outside because we're doing it for sometimes the wrong reason. And so we have to connect to the internal piece first, meaning we have to figure out ultimately why is it that you're doing it. And you have to change how you think. Because if we see ourselves consistently as being, let's say, overweight, and we talk to ourselves in that self-destructive way, we talk down to ourselves, and we're doing everything outside correct, there is that disconnect. It's not going to work. It's going to have a temporary impact. And a lot of times we think, well, hey, you're losing weight, you're looking good, what's happening? Well, I'm on this diet. And that word diet sometimes trips us up. Again, going back to how we talk about ourselves. Because if I'm on a diet continually, we're never on a diet for the rest of our lives. So why don't we switch and change the word diet to say a lifestyle change?
Which is what WW.
Well, there we
Which
go.
is what WW
Well, I didn't
is.
know, so there we go. So it's a lifestyle change. So we have to get our internal thinking, and that is the most important piece. And I like to see it as getting your mind in gear. And once you have your mind in gear, the component piece, the other pieces of your eating habits and your exercise habits, the routine, those new habits, you get a better flow and the results come easier. So it's not so much a struggle of you struggling. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're able to look at yourself and see that, talk differently to yourself. Talk to yourself the way you see yourself the outcome you're working towards.
So I know that you have done that with me because you have been my life coach, where you said to me, think of like just a phrase that you can get up and you can say that over and over every day. And after a while, even if you don't believe it at the beginning, that as you go along, it will change your mindset and how you see yourself.
Exactly. Okay, thanks for bringing that up, Bev. Because it's about reprogramming how we think. We program to think a certain way, and however we think, that's how we see ourselves. So during our time of coaching, I shared with you when in my own life, when I saw my own coach, when I had a coach or a counselor, one of the first exercises she gave me was, she said, I want you to go home and look at yourself in the mirror and say, you're beautiful. And what I did, I burst out laughing. I'm like, that's not going to happen. But I started doing that. And though I did not believe it at first, eventually, as a result of me continually saying it, one day something happened. It happened to my spirit. It happened inside. And all of a sudden it clicked. And I'm thinking, damn, I'm beautiful. And since that day, as a result of that, my confidence grew. So it had nothing to do with what people were thinking about me or how I look like on the outside. I connected to my beauty being more than my physical appearance, but the character and the person of who I am. So again, using your example, is the exact same thing. We need to find something internally that what you're changing. If you have to wake up every morning and your thinking is screwed up and disconnected from what you're doing on the outside, and you need that connect, find a word, find a mantra, find something that will work for you, that will inspire you to flow, that will cause things to flow together with what you're doing externally and internally. My biggest takeaway here, if you hear nothing else on this call, the biggest takeaway is work on your internal self more than you would on your external. Because if you start working on that and finding out what it is that is missing, what it is that I need to work on, maybe the first thing is your self-talk. Internally, we always have that internal dialogue going on.
So if you're here and you're listening to this, and you know what we've just shared with you in this moment, if it resonates with you, then stay tuned, because we are going to have the privilege of Diane, the life coach, coming to a meeting to you very soon. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.